We're like one day away. I'm freaking out. You know that this is when all the obsessive lists come out and we won't be sleeping for the next 48 hours.
Because, tell me.
Welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. If you have never been to the Todd and Erin Psychic Fair before, we are having our 4th annual one tomorrow, which is, of course, Friday, March 22nd, if you're watching this later on.
Yeah.
And down at the Viridian Center in West Jordan, it runs 5 to 10 p.m.
Viridian Center.
Viridian Center. Tickets are just $5 to get in, and then psychic readings are $10 each. And
How
we
many
have
psychics?
50 psychics. And
This is the largest collection of psychics in the western United States of America.
Oh, we at least know about Utah. It's the largest collection here in Utah.
No, the largest in the western region.
Oh, sure. Well, that too. But anyway, there's just so many different talents that I had no idea until I started doing all their biographies and finding out what they did. And, you know, we're going to be making free vision boards. There's all kinds of breakout sessions. There's massage and body work, and then incredible shopping and food. Nothing Bunk Cakes is going to be there with samples, and Christopher's Prime Steakhouse has a catering division that's bringing tasties.
All you need
Toffee
is
Teasers is there. We're having the Angel Fluff Girls come in with cotton candy.
All you need is $5.
Pretty nice, right?
$5, come on in, $10 a reading. Am I correct on this?
It's going to be really fun.
More information, go to the website.
All you have to do is go to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. You can also find the event here on Facebook. It'll give you all the information on where to get your tickets.
Time to make something yummy, or not. Let's go to the
That's
kitchen.
inspiring.
Hi, everybody. Everybody knows. Eat more vegetables. Eat more vegetables. What kind of vegetables? Well, no kidding, Sherlock. Everyone's supposed to eat more vegetables. Hang on, I gotta do something really quick. I don't want these to overcook. Brussels sprouts. That's what we're talking about. Brussels sprouts today. Hang on. Brussels sprouts. All right, so I'm going to give you something really easy to do with this. It's so easy. Every time we have friends over at the house, like Erin's parents and stuff like that, and her family, everyone volunteers to make this because they know it's that easy. That's the only reason. First of all, Brussels sprouts. The usual group, which we have the Brussels sprouts cut in half. We have the bacon, shallots over here, and then balsamic vinegar. That's all it's going to take, those items. Now, one of the big questions is on this is, do you trim the ends off of these? Now, I think I'll show you here. We're talking about that right there. And the older they get, the kind of age they look. But here is the way you judge this. If it is friends, like good friends and family, don't bother doing it. Make them live with it. If it's someone you're trying to impress, haven't known that long, then go ahead and clean them up. That's it. What was the other thing? Somebody asked me about knives the other day, and they were about to buy some, and they wanted to get some advice on that. And I'm not an expert. The only advice I have is what my life has been like so far. Maybe don't follow that, and maybe wear a hat when your hair's that bad. Okay, so the thing is that went to buy some knives, bought these 25 years ago. And my wife gave them to me, a lot of them, as a present because then I would cook for her. Now, these are Henkels. These are German. All the good ones are German. And there's also Woodstock. And so this one would cost about $60, $65. If this was a Woodstock, it'd be $150. So the thing I learned over the past many years is if you want some good German knives, go to the DI, go to the Salvation Army. I don't want to tell you this, but I'm going to. So you go in their kitchen section, you know, where all the frightening cookware is, right? And maybe you're looking for a pot lid that'll fit a pot that you have, or your mom needs something like that, or whatever. And you know, you go to the end of the lane there, and there's silverware, and there's nothing that matches. It's all just butter knives and forks, and nothing matches whatsoever. That's where you go, but you look in the knife bin, and there's all these plastic handle, serrated knives with the pointy ends, and they've got all those knives. Guess how many of these I found? I found so many of these, I don't even take them anymore for $1. And all you have to look for is the fact that the blade runs all the way through the handle. You got 3 rivets, and basically it's a heavy knife. It's German, and you got it for $1. Hang on, something's burning. All right, so there's only 3 ingredients here. And what we're gonna do is we cook down the bacon. I've taken most of the grease out of the pan already, so it doesn't have a lot of grease in it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the shallots in. Can I put this on my wood board without burning it? I think that's the question. Hang on, right there. All right, so I'm gonna put the shallots in. Like I said, this thing is like, I've already got the Brussels sprouts, and I just cut them in half like you see, and I have steamed them. Now we're gonna let this put back on the stove and let it sit just for a little bit to get those flavors together. You want another knife story? All right, here's another knife story. There's my nice knife. So I have about, I don't know, 10 different kinds of knives from these people. The handles broke. The handles broke like right there, just a crack, right in the handle, little crack, and they're guaranteed for life. And I had 6 of them. It must have been a bad batch or something. That's the only thing I could think of. So I had the crack in it, and so I remember they have a lifetime guarantee. So I boxed up knives, which, by the way, isn't as easy as it sounds. It's a lot of pointy bits. And I sent it to them, and they sent me a letter saying, hey, we got your knives, and then 2 weeks later, a box shows up with all brand new knives in it. And they said, sorry for the inconvenience. They had had a problem. It was a bad batch that they had put the handles together with. And so I had them. And then, if this isn't a lesson from the heavens, they said one of the knives you sent us was a Woodstock, that other German knife company, the expensive one. So what we did is we gave it to a person, and evidently all the knife companies are on like a single block in New York City. And that person carried my knife to another company, one of their rivals, gave it to them with the information. They contacted me saying, hey, we got your knife. The people over at Henkel brought it to us. We'll be sending it to you in 2 weeks. So Comcast, what's up? Not even their company. All right, where was I? Oh, I was cooking. So basically, I'm softening the onions as we speak. Hang on one second. And this doesn't take any time at all. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. And the other thing is, let's go back to Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, balsamic vinegar. So you got the fat from the bacon. Don't add salt to this, by the way. You know that. The balsamic vinegar is acidic, and so it cuts through the fat of the bacon, and it also sparkles up, and that's a term I'm never going to use again, sparkles up the Brussels sprouts and makes them taste kind of like a salad or more so. So what I'm going to do now is let me get over and I'm going to put this together and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so I'm just going to incorporate that. I got some of the moisture out of Brussels sprouts. So green they are. All right. And now it's time for the balsamic vinegar, which is right here. And depend on how much you like it. You can always give it to your guests and have them put their own on, but I probably put 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to put a little bit more. Probably another teaspoon there. Now, I'm going to turn off the oven, and I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit. And I might even put something on top, like that. All right. So far, so good. Now we just got to show you what it tastes like, I guess. Silverware. I'm going to get this. Now, gosh, it's so pretty on a white plate, too. There we go.
I have been waiting. I have been waiting for you to do this story all day because you told me just enough of it that I'm like, I have to know more.
I wish I could speak like David Attenborough.
You don't have to. The story speaks for itself.
But he does such the nature shows and such.
Now, I love dragonflies. They always come out around like twilight around our house.
About 4 o'clock, 4:30. Dragonfly time.
And they're darting around eating mosquitoes and stuff, but they leave before the bats show up.
But when it's time to mate,
I don't think I've seen
something
that.
very special happens. I have.
The creation of life is always special, sweetheart.
It is. So basically what happens is, as always, the men get overzealous. And the females will basically mate and then go deposit her eggs on her own. Guy's off going someplace
Self-sufficient
else.
little gal.
He doesn't care. He's after another woman now. And she drops her egg, and then also she's flying along, and all of a sudden, here comes another guy. And she's like, no. So what she does...
Dropped eggs. I'm exhausted.
Yep.
I need to hydrate. Yeah.
So what she does is she just folds up her wings and falls. She hits the ground laying on her back.
Are you serious?
That's it.
Why? Like she fainted from exhaustion
It's
or what?
over. It's over. The male will come down and go, wait, what? Hey, because that's what dragonflies do.
I guess.
She
sure.
doesn't move. He moves on.
I was like, she's dead. Well, that's not going to be any good.
She stays there as long as she wants. Resting, because she's still alive. She's fine.
The lady dragonflies fake it. The lady dragonflies fake it.
Fakes being dead. Right. Now that didn't work out.
Oh my God.
That didn't work well on our honeymoon. But this is a whole new species.
I've forgiven you for that. It's okay. You woke up eventually.
Wow.
No
David
judgments.
Attenborough wouldn't put up with that.
Oh, I had never heard of that.
Yeah, it's so funny. So they
And
just
this is like an insect. You wouldn't think that they would be that cunning.
right.
They're
They just it's like faking a headache.
So she just plays. No, like I'm dead. Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I'm not here for you.
Yeah, we can't. That'd be weird. And they just fly away.
She fakes her own death.
Right, because a lot of times when they show up to a pond or something, there'll be like 18 guys flying around.
I just wanted to get a drink of water.
She must get a drink.
My curled proboscis is tired.
Not sure they have those.
Now they have the little pretty curled proboscis. That's how they get
Okay, we're
the
gonna go with
nectar and
that.
the water and stuff.
We're gonna go with that.
That's how they get the
But
nectar.
anyway, so they figured it all out. Just lay on your back and
So
do
this
one
is
of those.
this is just like an animal, like an entomologist that discovered this.
yes. Someone was like, "Oh, look, she's dead." And all of a sudden, when all the guys go away, she's like, "No, she's fine." And
Steps
there
up,
she goes.
Gives her antennas a little stretch, and
That's
she's out
right.
of there.
She's
That's
like,
hysterical.
We're done. That's
Oh my
pretty
gosh,
funny.
that is like the best story of the day.
Do you
I'm
want to tell
sorry.
me something good?
I have two tell me something's good. You can select from them which one is your favorite. Are
That
you
one.
ready?
Oh, I can vote. Okay,
well,
go ahead.
let's start with this one.
All right, go ahead.
Now, we've heard a lot about the wall to be built between the United States and Mexico.
Mexico, right.
Now, there is vicious and violent opposition or support on either
Is there
side.
really?
We will not get into any of that because none of that matters. What matters is a huge consortium of scientists and engineers
Yes.
who descended upon Washington, D.C., and
Yes.
they presented their case for a wall
Yes.
to a group of mixed bipartisan congressional leaders.
So they have their own idea for a wall.
They said, we want a wall. Now, some people may be surprised because traditionally the science community has not been hugely into this.
Right.
But what they're saying is, no, there should totally be a wall, and here's why. What they're proposing, they want to create a 2,000-mile long industrial park on the border. It would include desalination facilities, solar energy panels, wind turbines, natural gas pipelines.
What?
Now, a park of this importance would require heavy-duty security. So they said, there is your preventative measures
And?
for people coming over the border.
Okay.
Because of the heavy security. But what they said, and this is amazing, they said the southern border lies in the arid or semi-arid regions. They have high solar irradiation and wind, and an energy park along the border is not only feasible, but highly desirable. They said the amount of solar energy production would be staggering.
Oh, so the wall would be
Absolutely staggering.
Panels.
Now, the white paper estimates that a solar park along the entire border would produce the same amount of energy as the hydropower production along the U.S. and Canadian border, and more than what is generated by a nuclear power plant, except for that it's also eco-friendly.
Right.
It provides jobs, and it fosters cooperation between the two countries.
Ah, there you go. All right. Story number 2.
Tell me that's not the coolest thing ever. And what they said is Democrats want a new Green Deal. Republicans want border security. Both parties could win.
There you go.
And you look at that, the logic is inescapable, right?
Right. And if you build it out of nougat, Erin's happy.
See, everyone
so
gets
there you
taken
go.
care of.
What's the other one?
Here's number 2, and this is local. I absolutely love this. Now, when police collect evidence, evidence from crimes or seizures or whatever, you don't expect to get it back. It's evidence. It's gone. It's in the evidence room.
Sure.
Well, the American Fork Police were actually going through their evidence room, and they were doing some kind of house cleaning, sorting through stuff, and they came upon this box from, I guess it was a theft or robbery, and they went in and they saw that there were 4 huge photo albums. Now, children, for those of you that were not existing before everything being online,
First of all, explain a book.
there were places we would take a photograph, and then we would find an attractive scrapbook, and we would glue the photograph onto the page.
A book is something that opens like this.
Mm-hmm. Now, these were highly, highly treasured. As a matter of fact, I think for anyone, that's your thing. That's your memories. People
Sure.
talk all the time about, what would you take when your house burst into flame? I get my scrapbooks. I get the things that were my memories,
Yeah.
my connections. So they said, we know this is important. So you've got these big, tough, hardened American Fork police guys going, we need to find the person. So they picked out the woman's
Oh my
image
gosh.
that was in the primary amount of the photos.
And they used it as a mug shot.
These must be yours.
Oh.
And so they said, look, we imagine the photos would be of incredible value to the owner, and they appear to be about circa 2003 based on some of the photos.
Oh my gosh,
2 of
this
them
is
were her
hilarious.
wedding albums.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like your wedding albums.
a mug shot in your wedding gown.
So they said, if you think you know this woman, please let us know.
Right, right.
And sure enough, within 6 hours, people are like, we have the girl.
Oh my gosh.
And so they posted something thanking all the Facebook people for jumping into action. And the girl was just beyond herself. She said, I never thought I would get these
That
back.
is so funny.
She said this was a whole chunk of my life that was gone, and now it's back in my hands.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But I just love the fact that the police cared enough, because if it's old evidence, throw it out.
Right,
But they knew
right.
it would matter to somebody.
Oh, that's just so
Isn't
cool.
so tell me, which one did you like best?
I'm going to go with
can't
the
even choose,
pictures.
can you?
I'm going with the pictures.
You
I'm going to go with the
sentimental
pictures.
thing.
I am. I'm a mess. Woodstock. So I want to talk about Woodstock
Yes,
just
okay.
for a second.
How long ago was that? Was it the 60s?
I was too young. I missed it. You know, all I remember is,
Upstate New York, right?
yeah, and they said, hey, we're going to have a little concert. And a lot of the acts hadn't even been booked, or they were like, yeah, well, if we have the time, we'll show, and stuff like that. And we're talking, well, if you remember, I mean, we're talking everyone on the music scene ends up showing up.
I mean, I studied this in musical theory, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
People bought
I mean,
tickets, and then all of a sudden the gate came down, and
kaboom.
it was a free-for-all. It was a mud bath and stuff.
There was much dancing and making
Right.
merry, yeah.
So they're doing it again.
Now, I want to point out that they made a very
Do you have the list? Do you have the list
painful-
of stuff?
You had it over there. You took it from me. They made a very painful and tragic effort to do this about 15 years ago, and it was a miserable failure.
It was a horrible thing. I
Yeah.
don't have it, but
You
anyway,
don't
it's
have it?
okay.
Wait, where did it
No,
go?
so anyway, the deal is they have all these new acts. They're all current acts. And you know what? I'm not really happy with the choices
Why?
because they're all like contemporary.
Well, no, there's like Jay-Z. There's like a whole bunch of really cool ones. What are you talking
I
about?
don't know, but
I bet it's over there. Will you grab
think
that
so?
one? Okay, now let's talk about this. Nope, that's not it
No.
either. Okay, I would like to point out they have a Utah local. Chance the Rapper is going to be there. And they actually
well, that's
profiled
worth
them a
the
few
ticket.
times. But they have Imagine Dragons, and they've got some cool ones. Santana's coming back up, and they're doing a nod to some of the older bands.
I gotta think though.
Jay-Z is going to be there.
just
So this
don't-
thing is like lockdown.
But there's gonna be wristbands. There's gonna be
Yeah.
all that stuff and like
The VIP section.
and toilets.
Those, yeah.
Just ruin the whole
Sanitary
event.
facilities.
Do you remember how crazy that was?
Well, I didn't because I wasn't there, but
I
I
know.
studied it, and
But
it was
just,
like
it was just.
they were just pictured people lying in the mud with their boyfriend, like, okay. I mean, no, everyone gave up. There was no concept of hygiene.
Look
But
out for
it
the
was-
boom, dude.
But it was a pivotal moment in musical history. I mean, it was huge.
It is.
So now they're going to try to recreate it. How many
No.
years later?
No, they're not going to do it. It's not going to work.
Oh, here it is.
There we go.
I'll tell you some of the other bands.
All right, go ahead.
It's kicking off on Friday, August 16th, by the way. Miley Cyrus,
Okay, right there. Really, Woodstock. Miley Cyrus.
The Killers, the Lumineers, the Rocketeers.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now
Okay.
that's cool.
All right, all right.
Okay. Michael Fontaine, Spearhead. Cool. And then once I said again on Saturday, it's Chance the Rapper. He's a local. The Black Keys. Once again, awesome.
Black
Portugal.
Keys, cool. Yeah.
I mean, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Cool. We love those guys.
That's not bad.
Soccer Mommy. I've never heard the band, but just on principle, I knew
You
terms
got
of that.
to watch it.
And then Sunday is Jay-Z, Imagine Dragons, Halsey, Cage the Elephant. I mean, they've got some cool
The
stuff.
problem is they're gonna tape the whole thing and then you get to watch it on pay-per-view, and that takes all the fun out of it.
No, it just takes the mud out of it.
And
I'm
it
completely
rained.
fine with that.
It rained like 3/4 of the time at the original.
Tickets go on sale on
Oh.
April 22nd, and some of it goes to a nonprofit, which includes the Happy Hippie Foundation and Hiring America, which is dedicated to helping veterans find jobs. This could be cool.
This could.
Seeing the Rocketeers and the Killers and the Black Keys, I mean, that'd be cool.
Little warning for everybody out there: if you're a toad licker, be careful of yourselves.
Why would you do that? Why would you lick
Licking
a toad?
toads.
Why would you do that to a toad?
Scientists have
That
been.
is disgusting. Why would you violate a toad like that?
Scientists, maybe they like it.
No, I don't think they do.
Scientists have been looking in this, and it's called the 5-MeO-DMT.
Oh, is this based on the hallucinogenic venom
Colorado
that comes from
River
certain
toad.
varieties of toad?
The
Okay.
Colorado River toad. Let's give him some.
So he's a close by toad. I would know about the big ones in Australia that are like a dinner plate size, but I didn't know about the
Who
Colorado
would
River
lick
toad.
those? Ew.
Same people, apparently. So what are we looking for in this mixture?
Well, what they found out, there's a psychedelic experiment going on, and it's a short 60 to 90-minute trip, hallucinogenic. And what they've been doing is putting this to people who have depression. 80% of the 322 researchers surveyed said, and this is from Johns Hopkins University.
Johns Hopkins University
Not some
is
guy
like-
named John's Garage.
Well, it is the forefront of medical research, yeah.
and they found out that this is actually helping people.
In what way? Just reduction of depression and anxiety? Or?
Exactly. And they go through it, and it's done very carefully, obviously. No toads are hurt in the process of licking them.
Yeah, they just feel a little violated. You don't know what, man. I was just out there trying to find some flies.
Next thing you know, some guy with a beard.
It's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I need some counseling.
That's really interesting.
Isn't that really cool, though? I mean, and they found that like 85% of the people said that they felt better afterwards.
So have they been tracking how long that feeling of lessened depression and
They're
anxiety
still working on all the details on that. But
They say if drugs are used properly in controlled settings and in conjunction with talk therapy, thank you,
Right.
which is important. They said that 45% of depressed patients are considered treatment resistant, meaning that current
drugs,
anti-anxieties
right.
don't work for them. So
But
this
there
is
you
like
go.
this is like a game over. I mean, that could be
Post-traumatic treatment as well, and they're just really excited about it.
my-
I'm not sure about the toads.
My favorite thing, though, and I understand the intentional and hilarity, but the head researcher, Dr. Davis, says, given the exciting new developments we're seeing, the research is in its infancy, but we realize that the further investigation with thousands of patients is warranted in healthy volunteers. Hey, would you like to come and get stoned, and we'll pay you $50 to participate in our drug research trial?
Lick this toad.
No, I'm just picturing all the stoners going, that'll be great. I'm here for you.
Bring that toad over here.
The toad. That's so sad.
Pass that toad, would you? And the toad's like, what is wrong with people? They're gonna get really good at hiding. Oh, you're about Frank? No, what happened? You don't want to know.
Oh man, between this and the Firefly story, I don't know if we've ever.
Oh, that's right. We've
I
kind
mean,
of
the
run
Dragonfly Story. I think we pretty much won on the Animal Kingdom
I
today.
think we are. I think we have. I think we're good. I think we're done. That's what I think.
I don't know if we can top the toads.
Oh, happy
the poor
first
toads.
full day of spring, actually, right? Full day of spring.
That was yesterday. That was free cone day.
This is
like the secondary unfolding day of spring.
All right. Well, you guys have a good time, and we will see you at the psychic fair that's coming up on the Friday, right? Friday.
That'd be a great Halloween costume. What are you? I'm the dragonfly that plays Dad. What are you?
I'm the frog.
toad that's been licked.
Lick me. Seems wrong, doesn't it? It was your idea. Bye. See ya.